Hello everyone, this is Neha Chauhan, founder and CEO Aerobay, and welcome to our another special episode of Aerobay Stories, where we bring lot of innovative ideas just with that one thought that how about it's time that where we bridge the gap between academic standard and the industrial requirement. And to bridge this gap today, we have a very special guest, none other than Saurabh sir, who's the director of Sapphire International School, Noida and Ghaziabad. Sir, what an honor to have you here with us. How are you doing today, sir? How's your day going?
All good, and it's my pleasure to be here with you.
Lovely, sir. Sir, because we are at education event today, and luckily I had a great opportunity to meet with a lot of amazing people. Everybody was sharing a lot of good information in terms of implementing the new policies, how the advancement of AI is happening. There is a scared side of it that how exactly in what all time is going to get implemented, but there's an excitement also that finally it is happening. What is your thought process like? How's your school is adapting to it? What is your take in terms of integrating AI with an existing school ecosystem?
Look, so we as a country
Yeah.
are at an inflection point right now,
Right,
and topped up with the education sector,
right.
which is trying to transform itself,
Mhm.
right? So the best part is that the education sector is having progressive leaders now
Right,
who are really wanting to make that change. One thing which has come up with the young folks getting into the education sector is that they are leveraging technology,
right,
and the technology integration that is happening inside the classroom and for the office automation as well.
right.
That is massive.
Yes.
So if I talk about our school at Sapphire International,
Yeah.
so we have divided into two things. One is obviously the office automation. Now, second comes the most important thing, which is the student learning, how it is impacting the student learning.
Absolutely.
Right? We
Yeah.
can talk about AI, we can talk about,
Yeah.
the AI agents, AI colleagues. But at the end of the day, we have to see what impact is there in the
Right.
student learning outcomes.
Absolutely, sir. Yes.
We all are in the school for that, right?
Yes.
So, if you talk about us, we have partnered with Google for Education,
Oh, lovely.
and we have the Chromebook trolleys going from one class to another,
Right.
from grade 6 to grade 8 grade 8.
Okay.
And my students
Hmm.
know how to use Canva, how to use Quizy, how to use Adobe Express, how to use Mentimeter, then Padlet, and whatnot.
They're very familiarized with all the tools,
Yes,
utilization of
and
different
these are
tools.
learning tools. I'm
Wow.
not talking only about the games, because games they know themselves.
They already know.
So now at school, it is my job to ensure that my kid is learning the game development as well.
Absolutely.
And we have the curriculum and the course which focuses on game development, on
Right.
coding,
Right.
and lot of other parameters. With respect to AI specifically, we obviously we can't teach things in grade 1. It has to be age appropriate.
It has to be aged.
So it starts from grade 1,
Right.
and the fundamentals and basics start, then grade 2, grade 3 onwards, and then we go
Yeah.
full blown.
Exactly.
So this is how we are integrating
And
technology.
that is very beautiful also, sir. I remember this morning only I was talking with my team people. So we have a team of creative team is what we call them, where we have a lot of graphic designers who utilize Canva and Photoshops and all this. Believe me, even today, despite us having a lot of university, we struggle finding the people who are very efficient with Canva.
Right.
So schools like you who are providing that
My
path.
grade 7 students can beat anyone in Canva.
How amazing. I think now we should reverse the hiring process and I should come to school instead of going to university. But that is amazing. I mean, if we had at our time in our school, the whole ecosystem, the opportunities which we received at that time, I mean, it would have made a lot of difference, right? People are still very hesitant. And I don't know why is that. Is it because we have a lack of learning ecosystem at university? They still tend to run toward the foreign colleges, right? Guilty being me being there. So when I did, but that was in 2012. So obviously I could not find the courses, the right appropriate courses related to aerospace. I had to go there, but now, come on, we are sitting in 2025. still 80% of the people, parents, especially in Delhi NCR, they say, I'm going to send my child to US and UK, not studying here. All of those things are there. Why is that? Are we still into that taboo that our university is not able to provide the same ecosystem, or is it something else which we are missing?
Look, so it's totally up to the parents, like what philosophy they want to follow.
Right.
Right? We cannot stop anyone from, let's say, being in India or let's say going abroad.
Right.
But one thing which I can say with all the assurance is that
Right.
the Indian universities right now, they are doing a fantastic job.
Right.
So we were known for all the engineering colleges,
Right.
right? But now if you see, liberal arts has been picked up by Ashoka University, and Ashoka and colleges, universities like Plaksha. So these are the new age universities which have changed everything.
Absolutely, you're right. I've been to Ashoka once. The kind of ecosystem they have built is beautiful.
Right. At the end of the day, look, like whether you go to Indian colleges or universities, or you go to UK or US universities.
Right.
At the end of the day, it is up to you what real skill sets you are picking.
Great, great, sir. Sir, talking about technology and university and higher education, I would like to have your insight in the segment of entrepreneurship as well. Because I don't know, everybody's keep on saying we have to build another Silicon Valley here in India. But at the same time, even though our ecosystem, startup ecosystem is building, Modi ji is doing a lot of programs also. I keep on hearing from the young startups, they have a lot of problem in terms of finding investors, acquiring funding, or even just getting a general ecosystem. Because of that, so many startups also shut down. What do you think, what we can do better? To even, tell students or to make them inclined toward the entrepreneurship, at least have those skills?
So, look, entrepreneurship is very close to my heart.
Right.
So, as you mentioned that startups, they shut down as well. So, I started one of the fintech startups
Wow.
back in the day in 2014.
2014.
Right? That was the literally the peak of Indian startup ecosystem.
Right.
And somehow, the culture was getting built in India. And we got invested, we got funded by Times and GSP. Then I realized that, so yes, we had raised the funds and then we had to shut down in few years. So I realized that we made a lot of mistakes on the way.
Right.
And we were too naive.
Okay.
Right. So one thing which I learned was definitely, you need to have right mentors on board. So money you can pick up from, there are a lot of investors in the market.
Right.
If your product is right, it has traction, it has the right revenue, right P&L now, then definitely, there are a lot of investors who are ready to pump in money.
Right.
If you ask me, I will never say that there is no money on the table.
Right.
You should have the right product and right traction, money is there on the table.
So it's not the money or investor problem.
So yes, exactly. It's not the money or the investor problem. It is, so every problem, is either because of the product or the team.
Okay.
Right. So if you see the data as well, the reasons why companies shut down or startups shut down, so the money is the least percentage of that.
Wow.
Right. But we have this narrative that it's the money which kills a startup.
Because it's an easy excuse to give, right?
Definitely.
We didn't get funding, so we got shut.
Exactly. So, cut to 2026. So now I'm running a school.
Yes.
And one thing which we have picked up is we have signed up on a 10-year entrepreneurship journey.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And from grade 1,
Right.
grade 2 and grade 11, because
Right.
10th is not there.
Yeah.
We don't want the board students to get into it.
Yes.
And 12th as well is not there. So the kids have signed up for the entrepreneurship journey.
Right.
We have an annual entrepreneurship showcase which happens.
Right.
Students, they create products, services, and they pitch. So my students,
Right.
they know how to pitch.
Right.
And I'm myself involved in it. And my students now strike a conversation in a way that, hey, can I get your 30 seconds? So this is how they're striking conversation with strangers.
Wow. So you have created a mini Shark Tank at your school. I
Maybe
think now
if
definitely
maybe
must
if you would want
visit.
to call that. So
Yes.
we're like still long way to go,
Long.
but I'm super proud how we have started.
Right. Amazing, sir. Sir, before we leave, because you've shared such a great insight, what one message would you like to give? And I would like to bifurcate it for the two different segments. A, for our young parents and students and all of those. And B, also for the people who wants to build something new. I know there's no shortcut, but something from your experience.
Look, so I'm no expert, but still my 2 cents for parents are always that let's not get into the mollycoddling with the kids.
Right.
Because we have to ensure that they're strong enough to
Right.
handle the pressure.
Absolutely.
We just have to guide them. They're smart enough. They're more smarter than us. When we were in grade 10th, we didn't know anything.
We didn't know anything.
If I see a grade 10th student right now, I'm like,
They're
I'm like, oh
killing
my
it.
God, yes.
They know everything.
So the parents have to ensure that they stop mollycoddling.
Right.
And to the kids, my piece of advice is which I keep telling them, yes, you will get marks. I know you will sail through. We all have sailed through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing which they have to pick up is the exposure. They have to step out, participate in the debates, participate in all the competitions that are there. Whether you win or lose doesn't matter.
Right.
It's about the participation and the exposure. And when you meet the top minds in the country,
Right.
it changes your perspective.
Right. And exposure, the experience, I think they'll remember it for the life.
Yes.
Right.
And for the folks who want to start something of their own,
Yeah.
so I think only one thing, it's hard work and perseverance.
Hard work and presence.
Because you will have days when you will cry alone, right?
It's a lonely
Because-
journey.
So that chair comes with invisible thorns.
Yes.
Right.
So such a deep thought you've left us with, and I'm sure our viewers they must have learned a lot from this. And but on that note, sir, thank you so much for giving me your time, sharing your experiences and your knowledge with us. Means a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sneha.
everyone.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thanks. Bye.